Time value of money. So the time value of money, what does that mean? Well, it means a dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow in its simplest sense. You're like, well, what does that mean? Well, here you go. Here's a dollar. So it's worth a dollar today. But if I say to you, I'll give you a dollar in 3 years, what would you rather have? Me give you a dollar today or me give you a dollar in 3 years? So if I was to say, I'll give you a dollar today, but I'll give you $10 in 3 years, you might sit there and go, maybe I will take that $10 in 3 years. But how do I calculate what's a better deal for me to do? That's where the time value of money comes in. So what is its meaning? Means if I put a dollar in the bank, it would be worth more in a month than getting a dollar in a month. So again, I have a dollar, I put it in the bank, it'll be a dollar something interest. Whereas if I just get a dollar in a month, it's not worth as much to me as what that dollar that has been sitting in the bank for a month would be worth. So another spin is to get a dollar in a month, you only need 95 cents. So let's say you put 95 cents in the bank, it'll be a dollar in a month. So that means today, that dollar in a month is really worth 95 cents. So these are mathematical methods, say that 5 times fast, to estimate the worth of a dollar today when it is returned or identified as a future amount. So what is it worth today? So it's important for project evaluation because it'll tell you, which projects you should potentially do based on whatever interest rates or hurdle rates, and we'll discuss that in a second, that you have out there. So here's our basic example of if I calculate how much money you would have in a year if you deposited $4.55 in a bank and received 10% annual interest. Well, in 1 year it would be worth $5. If I had 2 years to do the same thing, I'd only need $4.13 to get that $5 in 2 years. And I'd only need $3.76 today to get $5 in 3 years. So if I look at it from a reverse method, in 3 years, if somebody was to give me $5, today it's only worth $3.76. Okay, so we've kind of gone through that breakdown. Now, let's say we want that $15 in 3 years. So that means really I just need to put 3.76 down 3 times, right? So if I multiply that by 3, I get 1128. So that means 1128 times 10% for the first year, then take that amount and multiply that by another 10%, and then take that amount, multiply that by another 10%. I would get to $15 in that 3 years. So that tells me the present value of $15 in 3 years today is worth $11.28. So now strategic decisions, using the time value of money to make a decision. So we look at the present value of several factors. We put a dollar into a project today, and if we have to make several payments over the years, what is that worth today? If we get annuities, like cash flow comes in every year, like we're getting rent payments, what is the value of that today? And if we get paid a lump sum at the end, so let's say we sell equipment, we use it for a few years, and then we sell it, there's a value of that sale today. So we add all these things up to try to figure out what is the value of that decision today. So add all these present value factors to see if a project is worth doing it. And that's called the net present value of cash flows. So it's taking all those particular activities, figuring out what the net value is today, and really the highest one wins and should be the project that we take on. So it's the sum of all these discounted cash flows, and we've got the calculation here, but the thing I want to note is that discount and hurdle rate. What is that? Well, that's the situation in which I say, if I just put it in a bank, I might get 1%. So I want something that gives me more than 1%. And so if I compare the net flows of my cash in the bank at 1% compared to if I invest and I in something and I receive cash flows and then I have to pay some things out and then I get some sale at the end, is it higher than what would happen at the bank? If it is, if it's positive, then I'm going to do that project. But if all those activities happen and it's lower than just putting it into the bank at 1%, I'm not going to do that project. So That's what the hurdle rate is. It's saying, what is the general rate that I would do? Now, I use the bank rate because maybe that's all I have, but I have other investments maybe. This one gives me 7%. If I do this other project, will it be better than the one that gives me 7%? So that's my hurdle rate. That's the hurdle that I want to jump over. Again, hurdle rate. The hurdle I want to jump over to know that that project is better than what I could do with my alternative. So let's do a quick example. So Joseph's Leasing is also looking at the purchase of a lot of a double wide trailer on it. So we're going to purchase it. We're going to expect some inflows, our 6,800 per year for 10 years for renting it out. The cost is 65,000. So I got to put $65,000 down on it today. So that's 65,000. That's what it's worth today. But those 10 years of $6,800, what is that worth today? And then at the end, I'm going to be able to sell it for $45,000. Well, what is that worth today? Because I want to kind of see what that value is today. I'm going to apply that hurdle rate to say if I just took my $65,000 and I put it into another investment or into a bank, there's my hurdle. Will this leasing and buying of this trailer be higher or lower than my hurdle or my investment that I currently potentially could have? So let's see if we should do this trailer purchase. So if we look at the present value of an ordinary annuity of one, so that would mean an annuity means payments regular, right? So that's our 6,800. So it's basically saying if I look at an 8% hurdle rate, I'm going to say 8% was what my hurdle rate is, and I look at 10 years, I come up with a factor using my present value tables that says 6.710. So I multiply that 6,800 by 6.710, and it says today that is worth 45,628. Now remember, think about this, because 10 years of 6,800 would be 68,000. But I said it's over those years, so what is it really worth today? We use this factor to say, hey, it's worth $45,000 today. So that's one number that we're going to use. Next is we're going to sell that trailer in 10 years. So what is that trailer worth today? Well, we look at 8% again. There's our hurdle rate. We look at 10 years, and we're going to see that $45,000 today is worth $20,835. So the annuity will accumulate. So it's going to be 10 years, it's going to be less than 10, and it was 6 point something. And the value of a dollar means it's going to be less than 1, because if it's a dollar in the future, what is it worth today? And that was worth 46.3 cents essentially, after for 10 years from now. But today it's worth 46.3 cents. So I multiply that times the $45,000, and so these give us the numbers that we need to do the calculation. So that annuity cash flow was 45,000. That sale of the lot in 10 years for the 45,000 is now worth 20,000. So I add those two up together. The rent on the top and the sale of the trailer on the bottom gives me 66,000. And that's at an 8% rate. So that means there's the 8% rate hurdle, and we're going to come in just over that, making more cash by $1,463. So that tells me that because that's positive, it's got a value greater than 0, I'm going to buy that trailer because it beat my hurdle rate of 8%. So I'm very excited about this new investment I'm going to have. Now, if it's really close, and these are all based on estimates, I might not do it. But if it's a positive number, I'm generally going to do the project when I use the net present value of cash method. So I hope that helps explain that. And I hope that helps you understand the time value of money better. Here endeth the lecture.